me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta feel the tension. In my thoughts.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. If you want to support the channel, you can join the membership. Today, we are going to be talking about MVP odds. So one of the biggest things that I think we can really take a look at is essentially that it's not a fluke anymore. If anybody wants to talk crap about Tua, here's my argument. How can a quarterback be not good and be garbage? I don't think I've ever seen any quarterback that sucked that twice has led the MVP race. Now, last year he did get injured and certain things happened and he was not able to fulfill that. But when's the last time you had a quarterback twice consecutively in the MVP conversation that was crap? And not just in it, but leading it. Like the one that is number one right now, Tua Tagovailoa, is the number one odds to be MVP this year. Patrick Mahomes is behind him. And I just want to take a look at that. So his stats are 75 attempts, which is 8th, 715 yards, number one in the NFL, 4 passing touchdowns, he's tied for 4th, and then 2 interceptions, which is 8th. He has really, I mean, most of his stats are going to be number one in the NFL. This is why it's a little bit different than last year. Last year, we were just getting a hold of the offense. You know, we had a lot of crazy plays, a lot of deep bombs, but we didn't really know how to combat a couple of the other styles of play against us. And that's really what is different about this year. If you really look at our offense, it seems much more, even though it's crazy and it has all these different movements and all that, even though it seems more controlled. It seems like Tua knows where he wants to go. He's not taking unnecessary hits. You know, last year some of the plays were, you know, crazy, run out of the pocket. This year it just seems like he's kind of just staying in the pocket, making the throws, and allowing the defense to come onto the field. It's just very controlled. It seems a lot more, yeah, I guess you could say controlled. It seems like Tua has gotten a handle on this offense. Mike McDaniel has kind of started to figure it out too, and they trust the defense. So Tua's not trying to make all these crazy plays. The crazy plays are just the dimes that he's throwing to every single receiver that's on the field. And if he keeps this up, because we've already faced 2 hard teams at their house, you know what I'm saying? So we are typically better at home. If he keeps this up, I mean, I think Tua could win MVP this year. And if Tua wins MVP, you can't say anything about him. You can't call him garbage. You can't say it's the system, because there's been plenty of players that have been put in great systems. Think about it. If that were the case, wouldn't Derek Carr have been MVP candidate? He had a whole bunch of players that last year. Who else was in there? There's been plenty of other quarterbacks. I can't think of any right now. But there's been plenty of other quarterbacks. Wouldn't they have been MVP conversations? No, the only one that has is Tua, and it's because, yes, he has great receivers. But you have to find these receivers too. You know, if you really break down the plays, Tua is diagnosing defenses. He's doing what Peyton Manning did. He is understanding the defense and throwing it to where he needs to throw. The fact is that he's not looking players down, because that's what Zach Wilson does, and you see he throws interceptions. What he's doing is even more fascinating than that, which is he is diagnosing the defense before the snap, so he knows exactly where he needs to throw the ball. Think of it like a cheat code. If you know where you need to throw the ball already before you snap the ball, isn't that an excellent advantage? That's what he's doing. He's not looking at one receiver. He's looking at that guy because he already figured out what everything is happening or where everyone is going on the defense. So he realizes that that's the guy I need to look at because he's going to get open. And he does. And on top of that, the anticipation, the accuracy is bar none the best in the league. I mean, you can't really argue that. Just the ball that he throws, you'll see it in between 2-3 defenders every single time. There's nobody that throws it that accuracy. Yes, you have Patrick Mahomes. He's great. He's an amazing quarterback. But the accuracy, no one is as good as Tua Tagovailoa. Tua is throwing it into a place where his receiver's not even close to being there yet, not even turning their head. And he's throwing it in between 3 defenders every single pass. And he's completing them like they're nothing. And they look easy. But the thing is, they're not. They're not easy passes. These are extremely difficult. That's why you keep seeing the percentage of how much of a percentage it was to make that throw. Because there's nobody doing stuff like that. They may do that once or twice, but Tua does it 4 or 5 times every single game. Perfect system, of course. You always want to have your quarterback in a perfect system. I don't understand where the system is. I mean, people keep creating these arguments, but they make no sense. Of course you want to have a good system. That's the whole point of having a good football team. If you don't have a good system, then you aren't going to do anything worth or nothing. So of course you want to have a good system, but it's also about the player being able to execute that system, because we've seen multiple times, multiple quarterbacks have come into this and have failed miserably. They don't understand it. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to diagnose it. And these are quarterbacks that have been decently successful in the league. Tua, he deserves all the props that he's going to get, and that's just the way that it's going to be. You know, he is throwing the ball impressively accurate. He is anticipating where he needs to throw the ball every single time, and that's why defenses can't get a hold of him. He is throwing it before the defense even knows that he's throwing it. And the speed of the offense, of course, is great, but the way that Tua gets the ball out, there's nobody that could take that. There's nobody that could do that on this team. You have other players that will make crazy plays, sure. What Tua does is not visible to the naked fan. It's not visible because you're not seeing what he actually does. All it looks like is a completion, but you're not seeing that he's actually doing so much to get these completions. He's looking off defenders. He's throwing the ball into holes. He's not throwing it to a receiver. He's throwing it to where the receiver needs to be. And when he's doing that, he is throwing it so well that it is popping right into the receiver's hands. That is so impressive that it's not even funny. I mean, I don't know how you can really not understand that. I mean, it's so impressive, you know? It's the accuracy that he's throwing with is nuts. Now, of course, he needs to fix the deep ball. And that's just his feet work. I think his feet work are off when it comes sometimes to throwing the deep pass. You know, and I think he's not driving through the ball as much as he should. But everything else is incredible. He's doing MVP-like numbers, and now you can't really say anything. You can't. There's no such thing as a person that goes in the MVP conversation twice consecutively. There's nobody that does that. And you know what the thing is it's so funny. I'm having conversations with people, and you know, people talk about Aaron Rodgers and like, oh, it's the offensive line. I'm like, I don't want to hear about the offensive line because this guy had the worst one while he was a rookie, and he still was able to decently thrive in it. I don't want to hear nothing about offensive lines. You know what? If this young kid can figure out the offensive line, shouldn't a 38-year-old dude be able to figure that out too? I don't want to hear none of that. All I want to hear is that Tua is becoming an all-star player. And it's going to happen for a long time. And all the Tua haters can, you know, cry about it. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Tua is becoming the guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll wait till week 7. Well, you can see, keep saying they'll wait till whatever. I'll wait for forever. Tua is going to be the guy. He is. He's not taking hits anymore. He's becoming super accurate. He's going with the ball where he needs to go. Hope you enjoyed that video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.